All right, hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, what we did was we created a chatbot using RAG framework. We used create stuff document chain, create history aware retrieval chain, and that's how we created a RAG complete chatbot application. In this video, which is a continuation of the last video, what we're going to do is we'll use the same RAG chatbot framework and we'll create a Streamlit application. We'll be using a Google Colab notebook. And as you may or may not know, that Streamlit application directly doesn't work on Google Colab. So in order to create a funnel for the Streamlit application to work on Google Colab, we will also use something called as Pi and Grok. I mean, I call it Pi and Grok. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but that's what I like to call it. So we'll use that funnel for the Streamlit application to work on our Google Colab notebook. So let's dive into the code. All right, so what you see here is we have downloaded all the necessary libraries like LangChain, OpenAI, Streamlit, Pi and Grok, Fast GPU for the vector database. And then you also run your OpenAI key. Now what I'll do is I'll take you to the Pi and Grok website. Here's the website. What you need to do is you need to log into this website, and then there's a section where you get an API key. So you'll have to use that API key in the code base that I've mentioned over here. Okay. It's a standard code base that you use to run your Streamlit application on Google Colab Notebook. Only thing is you'll have to change your ngrok API key, right? Now what I'll do is as next steps, I will start creating my Streamlit application. So in order to create a Streamlit application, we'll have to write file app.py. That's the name of my Streamlit application. And next step is import Streamlit as st header chat with website. In my previous example, what I did was we used a PDF to chat with a PDF. In this example, only changes instead of PDF, we'll use a website and we'll chat with that website. So let's run this. And once I run this, for me, it shows overwriting app.py. But if you're using it or you're creating it for the first time, then it'll only show writing app.py. And once you do that, an app.py file will be created over here. Now that we have run this code, now what happens is you'll have to run the Pi and Grok code. To me, it shows error here, but then the first time when you're running it, it'll not show you error. And there's a link that is generated. You have to click on that link and it'll take you to the link here. Let me refresh this because I was already trying some other stuff. There you go. You see, now your Streamlit application is up and running. Chat with website is something that we have written in our code, and that's the same thing that is getting reflected here. Now let's go back and create certain sections. I'll create a sidebar. And in that sidebar, what I want to do is I want to create a text box that will take the website URL and then will show that website URL. Okay, that's the only thing. So with st.sidebar text enter URL, and then we'll use a variable called website URL is equal to xt.text input, and here we'll say URL. Now if user has entered the URL, that's what we are checking here, st.write website URL. And let's run this code. Now let's go back and check if a sidebar is created. Fantastic, a sidebar is created. What I'll do is this is my Medium channel. All my stories and everything, all the articles that I write, it's there on my Medium channel. So what we'll do is let's go to the FAS vector database. And let's capture this URL and we'll paste this URL over here. And there you go. That particular URL gets populated right underneath the chat box. Simple. This is what we wanted to do. Great. Now the next thing is we'll create a chat box structure. So chatbot structure will take a variable called user query is equal to st dot text input, ask me anything. And now we'll check if there is some value in user query, then st dot write user query. There you go, simple thing. And let's go back to our application and see. Did I switch off my video? 1 second, I'll switch on my video back. Okay, ask me anything. Hi, how are you? So it says, hi, how are you? Capital of India. Capital of India. Simple, right? Great. So we have done this. But this is very plain and simple. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get this in a chatbot format. There's a human, there's a there's a AI component. Then again, the human asks the question, and then there's a AI component, right? So Streamlit provides a structure for that, and that's something that we can get from chat message st.chat message. So let's use this. Instead of writing st.write query, what we'll do is we'll check with st.chat message. We'll give it as we'll give the name human, and we'll say user query with st.chat message AI. We'll say currently we are building, so please come back later. And let's go ahead. Great. Ask me anything. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Right? What is the capital of India? What is the capital of India? Great. As next steps, what we're going to do is now that we have already established the human message, AI message, next step that we want to do is instead of having this come back later over here, I'm going to put this in a function and that I let that function return this value. So let's do this. Let's have this as response is equal to get response, and here we'll be sending user query. And instead of writing this over here, let me write here response. What I'm going to do here is I'll make this function get response, and I'll send the user query, and I'll let this function return come back later. Okay, so this is one change that I've made, which is fairly simple, right? The other change that I want to make is I want to create a variable that will have a human message and AI message, together. With that, what I mean is what I've already done is I've already imported human message and AI message over here. I'm going to create another variable called chat history. So let me go ahead and make that particular variable here. Chat history is equal to, and I'll have a default AI message over here, AI message, and within this content, hello, how can I help you? I am a bot. All right, fairly simple AI message is something that I've created here. And after initializing this chat history variable, what I want to do is, instead of having the entire thing, let me comment this out. What I want to do is, I want to append human message and AI message in my chat history. So chat history dot append human message content is equal to, so whatever question user is asking, which is already fed in user query, I'm going to populate that within human message part of chat history. And similarly, response that I'm getting from the function that I've already created above is something that I will be embedding in the AI message part of chat history. Now, let me go ahead and with st.sidebar t.write chat history. Now, let's do one thing. Let's run this code and see. It's going to, right. So let's check out our Streamlit application now and see if what we are writing is getting captured in chat history. There you go. So this is the default message, which was, hello, how can I help you? I am a bot. Let me ask something. What is the capital of India? And there you go. Human message is now embedded in our chat history, and then the AI message is also embedded in the chat history. Let me ask something else. What is 2 plus 2? Now what you see is what's happening is it now again has the latest human message and then the latest AI message. But what it does not have right now is the previous human message and AI message. So for this, what we're going to do is we'll go back to the code, and what we now need is something that is able to retain the entire context or the history of a particular session. So for that, Streamlit has something called as session state. And we are going to pick up the code from here for session state. And typically what it does is it captures the value of a session variable, right? And in our case, what we'll do is, and let's have a look at this example first. If key is not in st.session state, st.session state.key is equal to value, certain value. So let me pick up this particular code snippet here and use it in our code base. So what we're going to do is, instead of having chat history as a standard normal variable, we are going to make it a session variable. So let me go ahead and ask if chat history is not in session state, then st.session state.chat history is equal to, and let me put this message right here. There you go. And let me delete this part here. Fantastic. So what I've done is I'm asking if chat history is not in session state, st.session state, then st.session state.chat history is equal to the default AI message. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and let's go back to the session state. So initialization is something that we have done for chat history by making it a session variable and initializing it with the the initial AI message. Now what we want to do is we want to update or append values in our session state variable of chat history. And this is how we do it. st.session state. These are the two ways how we can do it. So we'll pick up the first way and we will append what we call the human message or the AI message within this. So this is how we do it, st.session state.key. So instead of calling it as st.session state.key, we'll simply call it st.session state.chat history.append, and similarly st.session state.chat history.append AI message. And here we want to display the same thing, which is st.session state.chat history. So let me reload the entire code base and rerun this thing. There's some issue, st dot, okay. There's some spelling error, it seems. There you go. It should run now. Okay, so this is the standard message that we have. Now let me go ahead and ask something. What is the capital of India? So it says, the human message is there. What is the capital of India? And then the standard AI message come back later. Now let me ask another question. What is 2 plus 2? And there you go. What it is doing right now is it is not refreshing its memory, but then it is appending what is 2 plus 2 to what was the original value of chat history, because now chat history is a session variable. And this is very, very important for our next steps. Instead of writing the entire chat history in the sidebar, I want to have it in the main section, which is the conversation section. So that is why I've commented this out, and I'm going to make a conversations section. So for there you go. Let me accept this. So for message in st.session_state.history, and let me accept this code snippet as well. So what I'm doing here is, if the message is a human message, then with st.chat message human, we write the human code against the the human icon. And then if the message is an AI message, then we write the AI message against the AI icon. So I think this is perfect. Let me run this. Let's go back and run the entire code snippet. Hello, how can I help you? I'm a bot. Let me go ahead and ask this question. What is 2 plus 2? There you go. It comes here. What is this? What is the capital of France? Excuse me for the spelling, but you get the drift, right? What I'm trying to do here. Great. So this is something that we have done. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to check if the user has written a proper URL, then this particular code or the chatbot snippet gets activated for the user. So let me go ahead and do that. So once I get the URL value from here, let me make it as mainstream. So let me, if the website URL is none, or website URL is equal to an empty string, then we write st.write. Please enter a URL. Else, and I'm going to write the entire thing in the else section. Yep, this should work. And let's run this. What happened over there? Website URL. Now, see, now this particular section over here, it is not activated right now. So let me go ahead and enter a URL first, and that's when this section gets activated. Now let me go ahead and ask, do my regular chat stuff, just scribbling some random stuff. So you get the drift, right? Now we have at least got a structure ready. And I think this is pretty much it for part 1 of this video. I'm going to make part 2 of this video as well, wherein I will be populating the entire code snippet that we have right now, the Streamlit app.py. I'm going to be populating it with the LangChain code that we have created in a previous video. We are going to capture the